Right, now we're going to come to the burning question of the day, which is how do you repair pens?
Yep. Yeah, it's really an interesting question, this, because it depends whether you're repairing for yourself or whether you suddenly think that this is going to be great. I've done one or two pens and I'm repairing as a business. And in fact, definitely in the 1990s, a lot of people who were retiring got very interested in pens with an aim to actually start repairing professionally. The reason I think that there were so many in the 1990s was that at that time this was the golden age. You know, there were 250, 300,000 collectors of fountain pens worldwide. So it was an awful lot, and the market was spread in Japan, in South America, particularly Argentina and Brazil, South Africa.
So what parts go wrong? Does it nibs go, or does it crack?
Well, so many things can go wrong. It depends again which the pens are. There are some pens that are notorious for being unreliable or parts breaking. But overall, if a pen doesn't write properly, it doesn't work properly. You've got to find out why.
Okay, so I'm new to this.
Yeah.
And I want to become a pen repairer.
Yeah.
What tools do I need?
So do you want to become a pen repairer for yourself? Or
it's my hobby.
Yeah.
And I'm now wanting to buy cheaper pens and repair them in the collection, and then I'm hoping to get good enough to be able to sell them on.
Right.
So can you show me the tools that I would need?
Certainly, I can do that. But the first thing you need is a newspaper. The second thing you need is a cup of tea, and the third is a stool. And
a biscuit.
Or a biscuit, yeah. The reason is that this is not something you should rush into. You are going to find something and you're going to have to sit down, relax, look at it again, perhaps wait. So you've got to be patient. It's emphasising pen repair is not something that you can do very quickly.
Right.
You want to emphasise the one word, value. Value is not yours to decide. Value is in the mind of the person who sends you the item.
The market value.
The person who sends it, what happens. But the point about value is, value can mean so much. It can be a pen that probably costs 50p, but it's still very, very valuable to the person who sent it.
Yeah.
So you must consider that every pen you get is a valuable item, and you must treat it with respect. So that's the first point I'd make before you even start. But when you do start, the first thing, because you're doing it for other people, you're receiving items in the post. So the first thing you need is this. Now we can do this. When I started, I used to take photos with my camera. But it's extremely important, because the person who sends you an item doesn't necessarily know what's wrong with it. And he's just sending you it because, or she, sorry, could be sending you it because it just doesn't work. However, there are some people who unfortunately will say to you when you receive it, it wasn't like that when I sent it to you. And I'm afraid this is the way of the world, but it does happen. So just to make sure you photograph the pen in its entirety while you're examining it. And that's the first stage as you're examining it. So let's get on to the examination. The examination you should do against a checklist. You must make yourself a checklist which involves really items that are in various books, but in one particular book, Pen Repair, which myself and Dr. Lawrence Oldfield wrote. I think
We've got copies of them.
We've got copies 20 years ago. And the point about that is that list is extremely important. It takes you through the individual items. We all forget about that. I've forgotten about it when I'm buying pens, and I don't do a quick check, and I regret it usually because something's wrong, there's a crack there, or something's broken. So please work on somebody else's pen with the same detail and work against a checklist. What does a checklist include?